Hello, everyone. We've been telling you about the situation involving fentanyl at Sequoia High School this week. 2 school resource officers and a nurse taken to the hospital after a fentanyl exposure, and a 17-year-old student was taken into custody. So this raises so many questions about how dangerous this drug is. Joining us now to talk about this is Jason Goodman, Director of Recovery Support Services at Metro Drug Coalition. Thank you for coming in today, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of questions for you.
Sure.
For people at home who don't know what fentanyl is, please explain.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is similar to morphine, but we're talking about 50 to 100 times more powerful. And that's in regulated and prescription form. We're also talking about today, there's illicit fentanyl that's being manufactured. And we don't know exactly how powerful that is sometimes. It could be more, it could be less.
That's what's causing these overdoses. How much does it take to overdose? Not much, right?
Not much.
Because of what you just said.
A very, very small amount. And again, we're talking about a substance that's 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine when it's regulated.
That's hard to even think about. Can a fentanyl overdose be reversed?
It can, with the use of naloxone.
Okay.
And some folks in the community commonly recognize naloxone as Narcan.
Narcan.
So, yeah, and that's intermuscle with a needle. It's used that way, and also in nasal form as well.
So, on a positive note, more people are learning how to use Narcan. On a negative note, there's the need to know how to use Narcan.
Absolutely. I would suggest to anyone to connect with Metro Drug Coalition here locally about getting a Narcan training. Karen Pershing, our executive director, and I were discussing this today. We don't think we can get it in the hands of enough people.
Wow, so you're talking about every household having one?
I don't see why not, because everybody that's in a household also makes their way into the community. They go to the gas station, they go to the grocery store. So there's a chance when you see things like this happening in a school, why wouldn't you have it?
Boy, you raise a really valid point. What is your message, speaking of the school, your message to parents? What do they need to know about this drug?
Parents need to know that, again, when this illicit manufacture is happening, there's so much of it available out here in the community now, and it's making its way into so many substances. So some of these things that you think your children might be using out there now that you may not think it would be as harmful, there could be some fentanyl in that. Things like vapes, things like marijuana, pressed pills that kids are getting their hand on. I would say to parents, be careful about who your children are around right now and what they may be partaking in themselves. You might think it's just a party atmosphere, but a lot of that stuff turns deadly.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people have asked us, and we've talked about this in the newsroom, can you get an adverse reaction just by touching fentanyl?
Absolutely. By touching it, by breathing it, ingesting it, yes. I think that's probably what they saw there at the high school.
With the vape.
With just coming into contact with that. And if you look at some of the footage from that, when everybody showed up in response, they were dressed in full hazmat suits with breathing apparatuses on. So they were protecting themselves because they know how dangerous this substance can be, yes.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
I would like to add that treatment is available, treatment works, that recovery is a reality, and that the community, if they would like to, we suggest that you get Narcan or naloxone trained, and please reach out to us about us connecting with you to be able to do that.
All right. We thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it.